Hello, GTCC. Welcome to week 5 of our financial boot camp. We're so glad to have you here. You guys have been wonderful all throughout this process. We hope that you've learned a lot. You're absorbing this information. You're taking action steps. You're booking sessions with Becky to get your financial plan and get your financial security organized. We're so grateful to be a part of this process with GTCC. Very happy to be able to provide this benefit to you all. This week, we're talking about Social Security. Super awesome. With that being said, I'd like to invite Becky to the stage. She's again going to be our presenter. Hey, Becky, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Becky, why don't you introduce yourself for any viewers who are new to the series?
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Rebecca Iacopelli. I'm a certified financial planner here at My Financial Answers. Our goal is to bring you a happy retirement, and that's what we hope to see for all of you. I've been in the industry for about 7 years now, working with clients in wealth management, tax, and financial planning. So certainly equipped to help you guys through your financial journey. So we hope you certainly gather some insights as you watch all of these webinars and make some progress towards your goals.
Yes, she is equipped. She is absolutely equipped to help you with all of your financial planning. She's a benefit, a resource for everyone here to use. And even today, I want to encourage everyone to stick around to the end because she is going to answer your questions live on the broadcast. So you don't want to miss that. You want to listen, carefully take notes, and then save your questions for the end. And even if you have questions already, we're going to be talking about Social Security. Maybe something has come to mind. You know, you knew we were going to have this webinar today. You're like, I've been thinking about that. Go ahead and drop your questions in the chat box, and we'll collate all those and we'll answer those at the end. Right now, what we're going to do is a poll question to get you guys revved up and ready to go. And here it is. At what age do you plan on taking Social Security? Do you plan on taking it at age 62 as early as possible, between 62 and 65, at full retirement age, or at 67 to 70? Go ahead and answer the poll question. We're going to look at those results. I'll give you just a few seconds. This is a great question to get us started today, Becky. I'm really excited about hearing your recommendations for using Social Security as a resource in retirement and as a part of a retirement plan. I think a lot of people tend to think that Social Security is the retirement plan, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's certainly just a part.
Yes. We're going to learn all about it today. I'll give you just a few more seconds. I see just about everyone has voted. Okay, let's go ahead. All right, at what age do you plan on taking Social Security? No one wants to retire to take their Social Security as early as possible. Most want to wait till full retirement age. Wow, that's great, isn't it?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, that is awesome. And with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to you, Becky. And again, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop those in the chat box. You're going to want to stick around till the end, and we'll answer those live.
Thank you so much. Okay, so welcome to week 5 of the Financial Fitness Bootcamp, everyone. The last one of our series, so we're sad to see this ending, but we hope you are able to gain some knowledge over the course of this series and start improving your financial situation. So we want to see everyone building a sufficient nest egg for your retirement so that you can live out your golden years in comfort, and ultimately we want is peace of mind. So please sign up for My Financial Answers and set up a meeting with an advisor. That way we can ensure you're on the right track in accomplishing your goals. So today, in understanding Social Security and other elements of retirement income planning, we're going to learn a bit about the basics of Social Security and how that can impact your financial plan. In some cases, Social Security makes up almost 90% of a senior's income. So it is a very important element to include in your plan. But what comes with Social Security are various options, and we want to educate you on the differences between the choices that are available to you. Also, we're going to learn about different strategies and vehicles we can use for our retirement income, withdrawal strategies, tax strategies, and different ways in which we can optimize our retirement income. Hopefully, our retirement will have various streams of income, including pensions, Social Security, and withdrawals from our portfolio, and we want them to all work in conjunction to provide for your lifestyle, but also be distributed in the most tax-efficient way possible. So that's what we're going to go into today. So let's get started with introducing Social Security. You may know Social Security best for what you see come out of your paycheck every month. You pay 6.2% of your income towards Social Security, but only on income up to $137,000 and $137,700. I don't know why I can't say that right now. Sorry. But what this ultimately does is provide you with a benefit when you retire so that you may live out the rest of your years with at least a bit of a safety net. Social Security pays lifetime income at a set amount each month and increases with a cost of living adjustment, which is a reflection of inflation. You have different options of when you can take Social Security. The earliest you can take it is at age 62. But if you do so, you will be permanently reducing your benefits, and then that amount will continue for your lifetime. The reduction amount decreases until you reach full retirement age, which can be around 66 or 67 for most individuals. You also have the option of delaying your retirement benefits past your full retirement age. This will allow you to have an increase each year of 8%, which is a great benefit if you are able to wait to take the income payments until that point. We will see in the next slide what the break-even looks like for taking it at each age. The average Social Security benefit for a $50,000 earner is $1,500 if taken early at 62, $2,000 at full retirement, and $2,650 at age 70. The benefit amount is based on your highest 35 years of earnings. You may also collect on your spouse's benefit if you are married, and that benefit is going to be half of your spouse's total benefit. Or you can collect on your own record, which would be based on your own income. You have the option for whichever is higher. If you are divorced and you are married to that person for 10 years, you can collect on your ex-spouse's Social Security without affecting their benefit. In 1940, the life expectancy of a 65-year-old was almost 14 years. Today, it is just over 20 years. But many like to plan for even longer, such as a 30-year retirement being the most common for financial planners. We want to ensure you will have enough money to provide given the scenario that you live until 95, as it is a real possibility these days. For about half of seniors, it provides at least 50% of their total income, and for about 1 in 4 seniors, it provides at least 90% of their income. So it really is an important aspect of financial planning, and one we certainly want to discuss and determine your options for. It's best to speak with an advisor to help choose your age to claim, as it depends on your overall retirement income that you can expect, and it's all based on your financial plan. Next, we're going to take a look at the break-even points of Social Security. How long you live has an impact on when you should be taking Social Security. Of course, no one knows this, so it is a bit of a guessing game, but we can look at the math behind it when making an informed decision. We want to consider our health when making this decision. If we are in great health and have a family history of long lives, we may want to be looking at the age 92 section of this chart. Whereas if we have an unfortunate family history with early deaths and we know we ourselves are not in the best of shape, then we would then want to look at the age 72 section of the chart. Either way, we can see the total benefit of each selection taking at age 62, 66, or 70 changes as we get older. At first, if we pass away at age 72, it would be better for us if we had claimed our benefits at age 62. This is because we had the longest runway of payments made to us over the course of 10 years. If we take our benefits at age 70 and died at age 72, well, then we did not receive much from Social Security, and that's not a situation we want to be in, given how much we've contributed to Social Security over the years. We can see that at age 82, the total payment amounts are somewhat even. This is where we just about break even with our payouts. Any of the options would have been good for us, with full retirement inching out to be the best by a slight amount. Lastly, we can look at living to age 92. In which case, taking the larger benefit at age 70 would have added the greatest value to our retirement. We want to take advantage of the most amount of benefits we can get our hands on over the course of our retirement. And it's best to take a look at a chart such as this to provide a baseline for what we believe to be our situation. Take into account your health, family history, and overall financial plan, and you'll be able to come up to as close as possible to the optimal time to take Social Security. As we discussed in our last webinar, engaging in bridge work is also a very popular option for retirees. This allows individuals to participate in some level of work while being able to maintain their stress-free retirement. Some may retire early when their pension kicks in at 55, start taking Social Security at 62, and be working as a part-time job. If you are under full retirement age for the entire year, Social Security deducts $1 from your benefit payments for every $2 you earn above the annual limit, which is $18,240. So this is anything over and above that $18,000. If you earn below that, then you don't have to worry about the reduction. Also, if you are at full retirement age, there will be no reduction at all. Beginning with the months you reach full retirement age, your earnings no longer reduce your benefits, no matter how much you earn. Fortunately, though, if your benefits were reduced, Social Security recalculates your benefit amount to give you credit for the month's benefits that were reduced or withheld due to your excess earnings. So if you do choose to work over and above the limit, that money is not all lost. You will be receiving it back over the course of time as they adjust your benefit amount to account for these past deductions. Bridge work is a great way to supplement your retirement income and also keep you just busy enough during your retirement years. My own grandmother does some tax work during tax season for a company, and she loves having her mind engaged and having some extra income on the side to take care of projects around the house and other extras such as some nice vacations. So don't let Social Security deter you from engaging in work, especially if you're at full retirement, as you will receive the full benefit regardless. Pensions. Mostly a thing of the past these days, pensions are a great benefit if one is provided to you. Pensions are a guaranteed payout for life and oftentimes offer spousal benefits as well if you choose such a payout. These are a great supplement to your retirement income as they are fixed and provides a sense of security for your retirement. Pension plans are different from your 401k, 403b, or IRAs. They are an added benefit where the employer is responsible for investing the funds, and they promise a certain payout as a result over the course of your lifetime. The employer can contribute, the employees may be required to contribute, but the employee is not responsible for picking investments as they would in their own 403b or IRA. You have multiple options when you are ready to take your pension. Oftentimes, there will be an option to have spousal benefits at a certain percentage. This may be 100% continuation of benefits for your spouse if you pass away, or possibly a 50% benefit. These added benefits will reduce the amount of your pension as it is possibly more money that the company will have to pay out. What you want to do when comparing these options is taking a look at the cost of insurance, as this is what this basically is. It is an added insurance benefit for your spouse. If a comparable policy would be less, then choose the single life option at the highest payout and purchase insurance elsewhere. If the pension provides the insurance for cheaper, then choose that route. Your pension amount may or may not increase with inflation. This depends on the terms of your particular plan. If it does not increase with inflation, then the amount is going to reduce in value over time as it will not have the purchasing power it once did at the beginning. That will require a supplement from other income sources such as Social Security or your retirement portfolio. Hopefully, though, they do offer inflation adjustments so that purchasing power can remain consistent. There is also a vesting period for when you can become eligible for the pension. It may be 5 years or even 10 years of service required. But as you continue in your service, your pension value will increase. If you are in service for 20 to 30 years, you may be able to take your pension at any age, depending on the terms of your plan. Now let's discuss your withdrawal strategy for retirement. Fixed income sources such as a pension and Social Security can help ease the blow when it comes to having to withdraw funds from your retirement accounts. But those funds you build up for retirement, they were meant to be used. So there's no problem taking money to provide for your lifestyle. But what you want to do is choose a withdrawal strategy that works for you and fits within your life. There are multiple options for how to go about withdrawing from your portfolio. First, there is the 4% rule. This is where you withdraw 4% each year from your retirement assets and also increase that amount by inflation. So you would increase your distribution amount each year based on the cost of living. If you do this, you can keep a consistent payout when it comes to providing income, and it can last you around 30 years as we would hope. Of course, you want to be careful of market volatility. During periods of market downturns, you may be tapping into principal and reducing your assets. Hence comes the dynamic withdrawal strategy. This takes into account the changes in the market by changing the income stream depending on your market performance. The drawback to this, however, is the lack of stability when it comes to your income. It is not as predictable and may be reduced during periods of market volatility. Also, there is the bucket method. This is where you would create different accounts for different purposes: short-term needs in cash, long-term needs, and more aggressive investments. You would often, in this case, keep 3 to 5 years' expenses in cash and replenish that cash from your fixed income or equities as you use the cash for your living expenses. Overall, you want to choose a strategy that best fits your needs. In order to find what fits, a financial plan needs to be built to determine how much you need to cover expenses and what plan will help get you there. Now let's briefly discuss asset allocation. As we already did discuss this in our previous webinar, but it is important to consider when planning your retirement income streams. You want to be sure to be keeping enough cash to provide for your lifestyle expenses, such as 3 to 6 months of expenses. You could have a longer period of cash savings for expenses depending on your comfort level, but you would like the rest of the fixed income portion of your portfolio to be in CDs or bonds that mature as you need the income. If you don't want to work with individual bonds, you could use bond mutual funds or ETFs, which provide you with a dividend to use for your income, but also can be withdrawn from to replenish your cash. The idea is that these fixed income investments will protect you against market downturns and keep your income flow stable. Still, you do not want to shy away from equities when you retire. Equities are an important part of your portfolio to keep it growing with the goal of lasting 30 plus years into retirement. A common rule is to subtract your age from 110 to come up with your recommended equity percentage. This is just a mere suggestion, so of course your risk tolerance should be taken into consideration here. But overall, this provides a nice guideline as to what you should be invested in to keep your portfolio growing. If you keep your entire portfolio in fixed income, you may not be able to provide for yourself for the entirety of retirement and may run out of money. Remaining diversified across stocks and bonds is of utmost importance. So speak to your advisor to determine what allocation is right for you and how that will change over time as you move through retirement. Healthcare expenses are also something we want to consider when going into retirement. We never know what our healthcare costs will be, but for single retirees, the healthcare cost estimate is $150,000 for women and $135,000 for men throughout retirement. This can sound like a hefty cost, but we can certainly plan for it. One way we can save for our healthcare costs in retirement is through an HSA plan or a health savings account. You may be eligible through your own plan or through your spouse's healthcare plan. A health savings account is different from a flexible spending account in that you are able to maintain the funds in the account outside of just 1 year. It is not a use it or lose it type of account. It acts almost as a retirement account and has similar properties. The contributions to this account are pre-tax, meaning the amount you contribute is deducted from your taxable income. Also, the distributions you take from this account, if used for healthcare expenses, are tax-free. This offers a double tax benefit. Usually, pre-tax accounts would incur ordinary income taxes when withdrawn, but the health savings account allows for pre-tax contributions and tax-free distributions if used for healthcare expenses. The caveat is that in order to qualify for this type of account, you have to have a high deductible plan. The HSA is meant to offset the disadvantage of a high deductible plan by offering such tax benefits. You can save in this account all the way through to retirement. You can have these funds invested in the market so they can grow over time and even build them up to the point of having that $150,000 for healthcare expenses. If you don't end up needing them for healthcare expenses, the money can be withdrawn as in a normal retirement account at age 65. So planning for healthcare is definitely something we want to incorporate in your retirement planning, as it can cost quite a bit depending on your circumstances. In My Financial Answers, we automatically incorporate $12,000 per year for healthcare costs at retirement. So when you build your plan with us, you are certainly doing so with some cushion to be able to take care of those expenses. Next, we want to discuss the tax strategies we can put in place when withdrawing for our retirement. We want to be sure to plan this out with our advisor and also our tax advisor to ensure we are getting the most bang for our buck and keeping as much away from Uncle Sam as possible. We may have a variety of account types, and the goal is to take out of these accounts in a way that is most beneficial to you. To start off, you may have a personal brokerage accounts, which are taxable accounts. In these accounts, you may have funds that have been held for the long term, over a year, and have significant capital gains. You're going to have to pay taxes on these gains if you withdraw the funds. But the benefit here is that those gains will be taxed at capital gains rate, which is lower than ordinary income rates. Taking out of these accounts first allows the funds in your retirement accounts to continue growing tax-free. You experience tax-free growth in your retirement accounts, but when you distribute out of your IRAs, you are going to be taxed at an ordinary income tax rate. So you want to balance your distribution so as not to increase your tax bracket. This can be done by planning out your distributions between your taxable, Roths, and IRAs so as to even out your income over the course of your retirement and seek to achieve the lowest tax bracket possible. Ideally, you would distribute out of your Roth IRAs last because there are no required minimum distributions for these accounts, and they can continue to grow tax-free and also become tax-free for your heirs. Overall, you want to ensure the lowest tax burden possible, and weighing out your options takes some careful planning. So it's important to speak with your advisor at My Financial Answers and your tax advisor as well to develop a withdrawal strategy that keeps you within the minimum tax bracket while also providing the most for your lifestyle. One of the greatest retirement vehicles is the Roth IRA because of its tax-free benefits, but oftentimes individuals are limited based on income in funding a Roth IRA. One way to transfer funds to a Roth IRA without worrying about income limits is through a Roth IRA conversion. Once the money is converted from a traditional account to a Roth account, you can now experience tax-free distributions on earnings as long as you have had that account for 5 years. Of course, there are going to be tax implications when converting to a Roth IRA. The money you put in your traditional accounts, such as your 401k or traditional IRA, were pre-tax, meaning you have not paid taxes on those dollars. Therefore, when you take the money out of the account, you're going to owe taxes on that amount. There is no limit for how much you can convert, but you want to be aware of the tax implications for the year or years that you make the conversions. It is best to do this in a year of low income, such as when you enter into retirement, in order to ensure the lowest tax bracket. You can also split up a conversion over the course of a few years to stay within a certain tax bracket. For example, if you want to convert $60,000, instead of doing $60,000 in 2020, convert $20,000 per year for 3 years to keep yourself in the lower tax bracket. Once your money is in a Roth IRA, you will have your tax-free distributions, as mentioned before, as well as no required minimum distributions at age 72. This means the money can continue to grow as long as you are utilizing other funds. But if you need it, go ahead and use it for your lifestyle and reap the benefits of the tax-free distributions. Another retirement income vehicle that can be used is an annuity. There are various types of annuities, and they're typically offered by insurance companies, but you can also purchase them from other institutions such as Fidelity or Charles Schwab, which are often much cheaper than the insurance companies. What annuities do is provide a set income amount, similar to a pension, but require a large upfront payment in order to do so. You can contribute over time, or you can make one large payment at once. Two of the main options include fixed annuities and variable annuities. Fixed annuities offer guaranteed payments for life or for a certain period of time. You can deposit, for example, $100,000 into the purchase of an annuity, and the money will be used to calculate a monthly distribution amount for you based on the amount in your account and also life expectancy tables. With a fixed annuity, there's a guaranteed interest rate that allows your account to grow over time without the fear of market drops. These protects against downturns in the market, as you do not have ties to market performance. Variable annuities, however, are tied to market performance. The payments you would get every month will fluctuate depending on the investments in your account. You are able to choose the investments yourself and select the level of risk you want to take on. Both fixed and variable annuities can be provided through a deferred annuity or an immediate annuity. A deferred annuity grows tax-free until distribution, at which point the monthly payments are taxed as ordinary income. An immediate annuity pays out a monthly amount immediately, hence the name. This you would purchase right as you begin retirement, whereas a deferred annuity you may purchase in advance of retirement. Annuities can provide a level of security to supplement your retirement income and can grow tax-free, but there are definitely drawbacks. These include high fees, surrender charges, and the lack of benefits for your heirs. The fees for an annuity can be north of 3%, whereas a mutual fund can be below 0.5%. Also, your money is locked up when it is put in an annuity. If you decide to take the money out, you will pay hefty surrender charges, usually around 7% to access your funds. Also, once you pass away or your spouse passes away in the case of a joint annuity, your money goes away. There's nothing left over for your heirs, whereas if you had invested these funds in a retirement account, your heirs would inherit these accounts. So there are various aspects to consider when deciding on these matters. So it is pertinent that you speak with your advisor to determine what best fits for you. So what we want to see is your retirement last for 30 plus years. In order to do so, please sign up for My Financial Answers to have your financial plan reviewed and determine the best means for you to handle your retirement withdrawals. We can work together to utilize all the strategies we discussed in the series so far and come up with a solid financial foundation on which we can build your future. We learned about cash flow, debt management, investments, alternate scenarios, and finally, Social Security and retirement income planning. All of these can be pieced together to come to a place that is comfortable for you and will help you live a comfortable future. So we wish the best for all of you, and we will continue providing you with education such as this in the months to come. So we thank you so much for your attentiveness and your engagement in the series, and we wish you the best with moving forward with your financial future. So thanks once again, and we look forward to hearing your questions.
Thank you so much, Becky. Again, just wonderful information. We appreciate you so much. What we're going to do now, like I said at the beginning, go ahead and drop your questions in the chat box. We have some excellent questions I see waiting. Don't hesitate. Get your questions answered right now live with Becky. While we're waiting, giving you an opportunity to do that, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple more poll questions. Here's a good question. How much do you expect to spend in retirement? I would think this would be a monthly spend. So do you expect to spend less than $2,000 a month, between $2,000 and $4,000, between $4,000 and $6,000, or $6,000 a month or above? I think an issue that, or you tell me, do you tend to see that people expect to spend a lot less in retirement than is actually reality, Becky?
Well, it can go either way because there are certain things that reduce when you go into retirement, such as childcare expenses and things of that you don't have to worry about anymore. But on the flip side, people are at home and they may be going out to lunch more often. They may be going on vacations more often. So it really just depends on how you want to spend your retirement. If you're going to be just sitting at home, cooking at home, doing free activities, then you're going to spend less, of course. But if you're going to go live it up, then you certainly are going to need some more money to be able to fund that kind of lifestyle. So it really depends on what your goals are when you go into retirement.
And I think that's a really big benefit of having a session with you is that you can help draw out some of those things that really maybe people aren't thinking about. And they're not thinking what they envision their retirement to look like. They maybe are thinking, well, I don't have to pay childcare and I don't have to buy lunch every day. I won't be spending as much, but then it's like, oh no, but I'm going to want to do the stuff that I plan to do when I retire, you know, live my life. So it's a really good reason to talk to Becky, kind of flesh through some of these thinking, these ideas, and get the best plan for you. Now let's see our poll results. About 58% of the audience expects to spend about $2,000 and $4,000 a month, and a quarter of you plan to spend about $4,000 and $6,000 a month. So we have some variations here in your expected spending, but again, an opportunity to talk to Becky and really build a solid financial plan is literally sitting here at your fingertips, and we don't want you to miss that opportunity. So get on Becky's calendar right now. All right, one more poll question, then we'll go to the questions. Do you feel as though you were prepared for retirement? Definitely, mostly, but need some help. I'll worry about it when the time comes closer, but no, definitely I need help. Do you feel that you are really, really prepared for retirement? I think that that's, just be honest with yourself, dig deep. It's why you're here, right? To get to build a very solid financial plan to prepare for your retirement so that you can retire with dignity and grace and live the lifestyle that you would love to in your retirement. I'll give you guys just a few more seconds to answer. I think actually I see that, okay. Most everyone has voted, so let's go ahead and look at the results. So pretty much everyone feels like they need some help, and this is why we are here. This is absolutely why we're doing this, why GTCC has provided this amazing benefit, this workshop, this boot camp for you, is to get you that help so that you feel, to give you some financial peace. Okay, at this time, we're going to move to the Q&A session, and we have some excellent questions in the chat box. I love this question. Becky, can you look into your crystal ball and let me know your thoughts on raising the retirement age to 70?
Yes, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to know whether or not they're going to move it up. They continue moving it up. It moved from 65 to now age 67 for a lot of people. But there's no way of knowing. Of course, there's a lot of speculation out there, but that's why we certainly want to plan for it. So we want to have some extra cushion in your retirement plan so that you can be prepared just in case the Social Security retirement age does go up and you need some extra funding in those years. So it certainly is something we can discuss. Sometimes people even like to do financial plans if they're in the younger years without even considering Social Security. So that's an option as well.
Yeah, I was, that was actually another question. There's always been rumors about doing away with Social Security. It's, you know, a political hot topic. What would be your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so that's why a lot of people like to look at it without Social Security at all. Social Security is just it's just a small part of your retirement plan, so it's not that big of a deal if we cut it out. And then start planning for without it. Then all you just have an extra cushion for when you retire. You can go on some extra trips if you end up getting Social Security on top of that. So it's certainly something we can plan for, and depends on your comfort level whether or not we want to include it in the plan or not. Certainly if you're closer to retirement age right now, we would definitely include it, because as of right now, if you're going into retirement soon, you're going to be receiving Social Security. So it really depends on your age and your comfort level.
Wonderful. Okay, here's another question. Can you collect Social Security widow's benefits and still work?
Yes, you can, but it's going to have the same rules as people who are just receiving their regular benefits. It's going to be reduced by a certain amount based on how much you're making. So you do have to consider that when you're working and receiving widow's benefits.
Okay, excellent question. And here's another one. What would be the advantage to a government bond over a mutual fund?
Well, you can actually have a government bond in a mutual fund. So you can either get it individually or you can get it through a mutual fund. A mutual fund is going to add a benefit of diversification. So it's just going to give you a lot of different government bonds or a lot of different corporate bonds and government bonds so that you're diversified across the index. But holding it itself is also an option too. So I would say just the benefit of the holding in a mutual fund is diversification. But of course you can hold them either with or without.
Okay, oh, very good answer. All right, here's another question. If I'm maxing out my 403B contributions, can I also invest into an IRA?
Yes, absolutely. So as long as you're within the income limits for contributing to an IRA, you can contribute to an IRA as well as max out your 403B.
Okay. Another excellent question. Oh, here's another IRA question. Can a Roth IRA be automatically deducted from my paycheck?
No, so that's not going to happen. What you can do is you can set up an account and have your paycheck automatically send those funds to a certain account. That's how you can separate direct deposits and split that up. But unfortunately, it's not going to be able to be deducted kind of like your 401k or 403b is. You're going to have to put that cash into the account on your own.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. And what info should we have available for my Financial Answers meeting?
Yeah, so just information about your investments if you have any. So the balances in your account, such as your 403b or 401k. Also, an important piece of information that we like to have is your pension. So if you're working for a school district like you guys are, you're most likely going to be receiving a pension So good for you guys. And you can just get that information from your HR, whatever portal that they use to give you that information. That's really important to be able to build your financial plan. And also information on your loans. So any liabilities that you may have, such as credit cards, student loan debt, and interest rates that are associated with those. So really, we like to just collaborate together. When I have a meeting with anyone, I will share screens, and the client can share screens as well. We can take a look at things together, and we walk through it hand in hand so that we can really go through the program and understand it.
Yes, absolutely. And that is absolutely the benefit. Do not let, it is a lot of information to gather, but Becky is right here to walk you through it, hold your hand. Do not wait until you have that information to schedule your session with her. We can even get that information while you're on the call with Becky. So do not let that be a deterrent. Dive right in, dig in, and build your financial plan. And that is all of the questions that we have. Becky, again, I thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. We're so grateful for Verity Asset Management and our team to have you on board. GTCC, we're so happy to have been able to do this workshop for you. We hope that this 5 weeks has been very beneficial. We hope that you've gotten a lot of information from it. I know I sent out an email yesterday with the links to the prior 4 weeks recordings and a link to get on Becky's calendar and to sign up for My Financial Answers. So you should all have my email address. If there's anything at all that you need, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I am your resource to help you and guide you through this process and to get you on your path to financial security. We are so grateful to have been able to partner with GTCC to do this workshop. We hope that you take advantage of all of the benefits that GTC is offering through My Financial Answers and through Verity Asset Management. We thank you so much. We hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye, Becky.